I have the brand new Range Rover Sport 2023 Gen 3. Now, I don't know if you've seen our first video we did on the Gen 1 Range Rover Sport. My dad had one when I was at school. That's a time where, you know, you're trying to be cool in front of your friends, and they loved that car. And I definitely loved my dad picking me up from school because everyone's like, this car is insane, it's epic. And it's the epitome of success. A Range Rover says something. And the Sport, to me, I've always liked a little bit more than, you know, the normal Range Rover. And I wanted to try when it first came out, I wanted a Range Rover Sport, have a bit of a test drive. I went to Land Rover dealership, they went, sorry Oliver. So luckily I've got friends at Crystal Motors in Northampton, and they have lent me this brand new Range Rover Sport. It's an interesting trim level. We'll talk more about that in the video. I'm gonna do a little review on this one, and then I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, why I think this Range Rover Sport is a better buy than the normal Range Rover. The first thing I notice about being inside of the Range Rover Sport is just the visibility. It's great. I've got these big chunky wing mirrors. I've got the internal rear view mirror here, which can also be the clear sight rear view as an option. I think it's like £600. We've seen that in some other models as well. I love what they've done with the infotainment, with the new Pivi Pro system that you see with the other Range Rover models. 13.1 inches, 13.7 with the digital cluster display, and it's just so crisp and so clear. And this is the D300, so we're looking at a 3-litre diesel engine, 296 brake, 650 Newton meters of torque, and 0 to 62 in 6.6 seconds, which is still quick for such a big car. Right, what I want to do now is, because I'm on an A road, I want to take it somewhere a little bit smaller and see what it feels like on like a B winding country road. 6.6 seconds is what Range Rover say this new Sport can do. I've got it in dynamic mode. Let's give it a little bit of a launch and feel what it's like. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh my gosh, I heard the... Wow, that sounds a bit throaty. I like that. And there it is. Whoa! That's a lot. That feels a lot quicker than 6.6 seconds. This thing can move, and you know, I didn't feel too much roll. I'm gonna just leave it in dynamic. I love the paddles. They've got proper sturdy metal paddles behind the wheel that you can drop down. It's the 8-speed ZF gearbox. Let's give it a little bit. It sounds pretty punchy. I love the sound. Are you guys hearing that? It sounds pretty good. It does feel pretty weighty, like you're controlling a big solid mass. The steering's really responsive as well. So it's in dynamic mode. The steering isn't as tight, isn't as stiff as I thought. It's actually still pretty light. But this car is not only like super smooth with the air suspension, it's pretty flat in the corners. And obviously the more pace you pick up, you know, that's going to change a bit. But I wouldn't really want to be pushing this car too much, especially on the UK B roads, because they can be pretty scary. I am super impressed. Right, let's just turn out of here. Here we go. Oh, you just can feel the nose lift up. And that's what I love about Range Rovers. And that's what I love about when we had to go in the bigger brother of this car, the Range Rover. But the Range Rover Sport just feels a little bit lighter on its feet, a little bit more agile. You sit a bit lower down, center console's up a little bit. You just got a bit more of a performance vibe. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why the Range Rover Sport is the better buy, in my opinion, over the normal Range Rover. Number 1, and it's a biggie, the cheapest Range Rover Sport, 83k starts at. The normal Range Rover, £103,000. You're making a 20 grand saving. You're still getting an awesome looking Range Rover car, and the Range Rover Sport can do everything that the bigger brother Range Rover can do. Number 2, it's more fun to drive because it's smaller, it's more agile, it sits lower, and it just puts a bigger smile on your face. I've driven the bigger brother Range Rover, and when you are on the B roads in the UK here, you are worried. It's a mammoth beast. You don't want to scratch that over £100,000 car. The Range Rover Sport just gives you a little bit more confidence, and it's more fun to drive. Number 3, it's great off-road too. This can do everything the bigger brother Range Rover can do. It can still wade 900 millimeters when going through water. It's got all the same software, the Pivi Pro infotainment, the same cameras. It's got the clear sight ground view that we've seen in the Defender. Ask yourself, how many times are you really going to go off-road? And if you are, this can still do anything that the new Range Rover can do. Oh, I've just thought of a bonus reason as well. Number 4, it's on the exact same platform as the Range Rover, the MLA Flex platform, which means they share everything. They share the same powertrains, the engines, the batteries for the plug-in hybrid version, the electric motors it uses. It's exactly pretty much the same car. This is just a little bit smaller and £20,000 cheaper. Boot space, we need to talk about boot space. This is super practical, 647 litres of boot space. You've even got a little bit of storage down here when you lift up this cubby. But the coolest thing is, come around, look at this control panel. Say I want more boot space, rather than go round, open up the passenger doors, push the seats down, just press these buttons, press them forward. Look how quick, I'm pressing them both at the same time here. So you can do one or the other. Keep holding them forward and they just literally go forwards like that. There we go. Also, air suspension. So say you're sorting something with your tow bar. This can tow 3,500 kilograms, which is the max on the UK roads. You might want to lift it up a bit. Oh, very good. Get the car up. Or you might want it down because you've done some shopping. There you go. And it's going down. Look at that. So quick and responsive to the touch. Nowadays, we're all trying to save money as well. When you've forked out on an expensive car like the Range Rover Sport, you want to get a little bit of efficiency with your miles per gallon, right? And the 3-litre diesel, Range Rover say you're looking at around 38 miles to the gallon. And if you're someone that's got the new one, I'd love to know what you guys get in the comments. That's always a good thing on our videos. A lot of people always tell us what they get. Now, I've reset the trip when we first got in this car, and I will tell you exactly what we are averaging when we give the car back to Crystal Motors, because I think that's a good real world example to see what we're going to be getting in with this D300 with the miles to the gallon. And that's something I'm looking forward to seeing, because if I was getting this car, I mean, if I could afford it, I'd definitely be getting it, but I'd want to be saving money, you know, where I can. And also with this new MLA Flex platform, you've got the plug-in hybrid where you get 70 miles to the battery, and that's the same equipment, batteries and motors you get in the bigger brother, the Range Rover. But I have read on some forums that the 70 miles is more like 21 miles with the plug-in hybrid. Again, let me know if I haven't been able to experience those cars yet to see a real world example, but I'm always keen to hear from others in the real world what they're getting with their plug-in hybrids. So let me know in the comments. Okay, it's all about comfort. We need to know about comfort levels. I've got Adam in the back of this Gen 3 Range Rover Sport. Adam, what's it like back there?
So I'd like to review the back seat of this car. It is actually really nice. I mean, it's no surprise that a Range Rover is going to have nice back seats. It is sort of what they're made for. All the materials are really nice. I've got this center console here with 2 cup holders. That's really nice. A little bit of storage in there, and you've actually got heated seats with some fans and stuff. Let me show you the materials on the side of the doors. You've got your little bit of play in the seats there. You can recline them if you need to. You've also got the Meridian bits there with the 2-tone black and white leather, which I actually didn't think I would like, but I actually do. I feel like all of the stuff that's going to get scuffed is black, so it's going to work pretty well. Nice sunroof. I'd say the seats are really comfortable with like quite a soft ride, so just what you'd expect really. The only sort of thing I didn't really like was when you're in the back seats, a lot of the visibility is taken up by the front seats. They're just like big black, I don't know, just like blockers in your way, and I feel like there must be a better shape that could, you know, make the visibility in the back seats a little bit better. But apart from that, it's a really nice place to be. Another little mention as well, leg room. Let's have a little look. My legs and the front seats are, there's plenty of leg room. So just thought I'd show you that.
Let's have a little walk around this Range Rover Sport Gen 3 then. This is the Dynamic SE trim. So there's 4 trim levels, the SE, Dynamic SE, the Autobiography, and the SV First Edition. It's a lot of black on this car. It's got the black extension pack on it. It's got a few other options. Tinted rear windows, pano roof. Anyway, 23-inch rims. But from the Gen 2 to the Gen 3, we've got the new design theories called reductionism. You've seen it on the new Range Rover. This was designed alongside the new Range Rover, but it's still got its own look. The lights look spectacular. If you look at a Gen 2 Range Rover, they kind of kick out a bit, and there's kind of like a little bit of a wing that comes out. This is just a little bit more sleek, a little bit more slender. Again, the grille here, small, elegant, sweeping across. With some of the SE trims you see, these can be copper accents. Again, this is just black, all black everything. Come around the side, it's kind of hard to see the details. I'd love to know what you guys would spec. This is Santorini black. I think it's just under £900 as an option. I love seeing this. You know, when you look at a car as a Range Rover Sport in the UK, on the road, wherever you are, and you're looking for those vents to go, is that a Sport? Yes, it's a Sport. Come around the side. Again, obviously, on the new Gen, you've got the handles. First seen with the Velar, really. A lot of people say the Velar kicked off the new design language. We've now seen that with the Evoque. Door handles go in, the new Range Rover Sport. And the old Range Rover Gen 2, the lights would stay on the rear quarter. Again, kind of kicking out a weird line here, geometric shape. Now they're sleeker, just like on the Velar, coming in to the boot. Also, if you didn't know this has got a power tailgate, but that's a £300 option. So you don't even get a power tailgate as standard with a Range Rover Sport. I know, it's nuts. And the cheapest one you can get is the SE, which is 83,620. A new Dynamic SE is 86,620, so there's a £3,000 difference. Okay, I want to talk to you about trim levels with the Range Rover Sport, because maybe if you're someone that's looking into getting one, you'll see that there is 4 on the website. You can go for the SE, which starts at 83,620, and then you've got the Dynamic SE, which this one is with a load of other options on it. Now the Dynamic SE starts at 86,620, so it's a £3,000 difference. And if I'm being honest, I'd get the SE. The £3,000 that you're paying for is all about little changes on the exterior, the accents, chrome accents inside the car, and the satin finish on the alloys. It's not to do with power tailgate or privacy glass windows. They're all added options you could get on the SE. And when I was looking at building a car, I just thought, I'm just going to save myself £3,000, get the SE. Then you go to the Autobiography, that's 15 grand more. Let's forget that, come on. And then you go to the SV Edition 1. Again, it gets very silly, but then if you've got that kind of money, then you might go, nah, I'm going all out. But really, I think if you get the SE, the cheapest one, the 83,620, and then you could spec what you want. If you really want a power tailgate, do you really want privacy glass, you get a fixed pano, but if you want it to move, that's a £1,095 option, which this one is. This one's got the panoramic, which moves. Again, you just have to, you can get carried away. But for me, in my opinion, and my advice would be, get yourself SE trim level, or if you're not buying new and you're buying used, like this one's done 7,845. It's up for 89,995 at Crystal Motors. It's got £8,000 of options on there. So, you know, you could weigh it up. You could find a great buy, just like this. No scratches on it. Pretty much brand new, one owner. But if you're going brand new, I'd say SE. Let me know what you think in the comments. The interior inside this Range Rover Sport is pretty special. And with the Range Rovers, their focus is on plushness and design of the car, and everything just feels designed well, like ergonomics. Everything feels nice in the hand, everything's crisp. The design language of the numbers that you've seen, and the thickness of the displays, they're like thin and dainty, but a slight curve to it, which you know you don't see in other cars. They just look great. You've got a center console here, not very busy at all, and with some of the newer Range Rovers, especially the Evoque, they've got rid of the temperature controls. On these, you've got them really easy to use. Push and pull. Hello, good at that. Push down, that's my heated seat. Awesome, turn that on. I give it a tug, and it does the fan. And you can turn them up and down. They've got a real quality click, a little bit of rubber on the exterior of it as well. And it just works. The center console is a little bit higher, giving it a bit of a sporty vibe. Nice big cavity there. 13.1 inch infotainment screen. I can have my arm resting on the center console armrest and press the buttons alongside here on this like kind of little channel on the infotainment, which really helps because you don't want it over that side. Although the parking camera is over that side, but look how cool this is. When I click the parking camera and click 3D, this will actually, this is a really cool feature, and a lot of cars normally turn the cameras off when you start moving, and you do get a message come up and say, probably shouldn't be looking at the camera over certain speeds. Anyway, it stays on. It stays on. When these lights go green, I'm going to show you, because it's like a bit of a simulation. It reminds me of a computer game, but the quality is fantastic. So when you're driving along, you can see the car behind me. I know that without even looking in my rear screen, it's I think it's an Audi Q8 there. Right, here we go. Watch this. Look at this screen. So we're moving. Obviously the car is like green, some sort of toothpaste colour, but we're in black. But look at that. How cool's that? Now another thing you have on the Range Rover Sport, which is the same as the Range Rover Defender, it's the clear sight ground view. So let's check that out. I'm going to click off-road. I'm going to click this here, and now look at that. We should be able to get that under the camera. Clear sight ground view. So you can do everything you can do in a Defender, a Range Rover. This will weigh 900 millimeters as well off-road. You got your central electronic diff lock there. Clear sight ground view. Such a cool piece of tech. Now, at the start, I told you about 38 MPG. We reset the trip. I'm on my way back to Crystal Motors, and I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check out this car and check out their other cool cars they have. I'm looking at my trip A summary, and it's saying 27 miles to the gallon. Okay, so I'm like a little bit off, like 11 miles off. But I do think if you are careful with this car, you could probably push it into the 40s. I don't know, let me know. If you got any real world owners watching at the moment, let me know what you're getting MPG with the D300, the 3 litre diesel. 27.2, it's just gone up. Anyway, it'd be good to get 38 miles to the gallon with this car. Okay, I want to show you the quality of the cameras, because I think that's really important, especially to me if I'm buying a brand new SUV or any SUV and it's big. I want to know what the camera's like when I'm parking it. So I've come to a car park here, a little quaint pub. Check that out. Look how clean and crisp that is. And you know what? You've got like a little jet thing. I think all cars should have this, because in the UK the roads get grubby. And I've just hear that. So it sprays the front and the rear cameras, and pretty much all of them, I think. Oh, there we go. And look, and then it just dries pretty quickly. On this side, you can click and see different parts. But anyway, I'm going to just drive it a little bit forward. And the steering is super, super light. And I'm just going to have a little go at reversing in one of these bays, which I've done. So I'm just using the camera. Going to get back in there. And I'm pretty awesome at reversing anyway. No, but it's pretty easy, pretty simple. I love this setup. So I'm just going to put it into this one, line it up. The problem is I'm not actually looking at the road. Sometimes I think, oh, camera's good. But there you go. Right, so you can see in the camera, I'm not going to bother going perfect all the way back. You can see in the camera, really easy to move. Steering was nice and light there. But I think the real star of the show is just the quality of cameras and the fact that you can clean them with that jet. What do you think about the camera quality in this Range Rover Sport? So that has been our episode on the Range Rover Sport 2023. Oh my goodness. If you like it, it's up for $89,995 at Crystal Motors. Big thanks to them for letting us have a go in this car. I absolutely love it. I want it. If only I had 90K. What do you guys think of this car? Let me know in the comments below. I've given you 3 reasons, well, more than 3 reasons why it's a better buy, I think, in my opinion, over the big brother Range Rover. We've taken it out on the road. It's smooth, it's sporty, it's everything you need in a car. It can tow, it can go off-road. Let me know your favorite thing about the Range Rover Sport in the comments below. As always, throw us a like if you like the episode, get a sub to Car Chat TV, and I'll see you on the next one. If you've made it this far, thank you ever so much for watching. I've just popped up 2 more videos on your screen that you also may like. If you do watch one, let me know what you think.